The flexibility of the Ankara fabric, which perhaps makes it one of the most celebrated African textile, has attracted the attention of Johannesburg's South Africa-based American artist Gary Stevens to explore ways of turning it into another unique art form. Showing off his paintings titled Ankara Portraits at the Omenka Gallery, Ikoyi, Lagos, Gary Stevens confirms the increasing popularity of the Ankara fabric both at home and in the diaspora. His contact with Ankara, he discloses, came when he visited Lagos for the first time earlier this year.
This painting is one of the only paintings in the show that's actually made of a Nigerian friend of mine. So the first time I came to Nigeria, to Lagos, I took this photo of my friend Uchenna. So I called the painting Uchenna. And I made some changes, but basically it's the typical image that I like, where I shoot someone from the back. It's not really a portrait of him, although you can see a bit of his profile. It's about the fabric patterns. He was wearing a black hat, but I didn't want such a solid image, so I changed it and I used the pattern to make it seem like a straw hat or something like that.
Stevens' technique basically is painting on fabric using photograph reference of people captured by his camera.
The agreement that I made, or the gallery asked me if I can start to use more photos that I take in Nigeria, which is great for me because that means I'll get to spend more time here and use more like local inspirations, which I think will have more meaning for Nigerians when they can relate to the subjects, you know. Some of the models I don't know. I started out using people that I know, and eventually sometimes I'll just take photos in a public place. But it has more meaning to me because this is a painting of my friend, so I like this painting. Okay.
He explains the process of stretching the fabric on a canvas, sketching out paint outlines with acrylic, bringing light and shade where necessary, and creating contrasting colors to bring out his art.
Well, they're all painted on top of Ankara fabrics, painted with acrylic paints. She is a friend of mine in South Africa, so I call this piece Veronica. That's her name. And so the whole technique is using the Ankara pattern underneath, painting and covering up some so that I can bring out the figure, but not covering up so much that I lose the pattern and the sort of decoration that it gives to the piece. So in a way, that's the challenge of my whole work, is how much do I cover up and how much of the fabric do I leave to come through.
Some of the works he's showing include depictions of ladies' headdress trends in Lagos, such as gele, one that generates appreciation.
This particular piece, I'm standing here now because I was attracted to this piece. First, the color. Turquoise is one of my favorite colors. You can see a hint of blue in what I'm wearing, not quite turquoise, but turquoise is one of my favorite. In fact, turquoise and orange are my two favorite colors for accents.
These print represent like a guy like walking here, like in the street of the Balogu market. That's when Gary was buying the Ankara fabric for his painting. This shirt comes like from the same market. So I find like very spontaneous and very new his interpretation of old techniques of printing and making it like in a new way, that representing contemporary themes and ordinary scene of lives.
Whatever made Stevens show interest in the Nigerian art market could just be the beginning of a long relationship.